Environmentalists filed a 60-day notice of intent to sue the state to stop anglers from fishing for steelhead.
That struck fear in the hearts of people living in river communities who rely on fishing for their livelihoods. Steve Liebenthal has the story in tonight's Idaho Backroads Report.
There you go.
For more than 30 years, Carrie Brennan has been taking people down the Salmon River near Riggins to catch salmon and steelhead. So when environmentalists filed an intent to sue Idaho to stop steelhead fishing, he became concerned.
Well, it'd be tough for Riggins, it'd be tough for Idaho. I think they're targeting the wrong people, the sportsmen being allowed to use the resource, or a big reason that the resource is still here.
Brennan's longtime business partner, Roy Akins, is a Riggins city councilman who also guides anglers hoping to catch big fish returning to Idaho from the ocean. He and others who rely on the Salmon River for a living say they were caught off guard when groups they are used to working with suddenly threatened to take away anglers' right to fish for steelhead in Idaho.
It was upsetting for a little bit there when we first heard about it, because we hate to see our ranks divided. We'd like to all work together with the same goal of restoring wild steelhead, wild salmon back to Idaho in large enough numbers that they are sustained, and we know they're going to be here forever and for our future generations.
And this should be extremely scary for all of these folks. Not because of a 60-day notice, but because of the fact that our numbers of returning fish are so low.
Kevin Lewis, executive director of Idaho Rivers United, the group filing the intent to sue, says the move was not intended to target anglers, but to force Idaho Fish and Game to update an expired plan for recovery of Idaho's wild steelhead, which are protected under the Endangered Species Act.
The numbers of Idaho fish, both salmon and steelhead, have plummeted over the last 3 years. And unfortunately, our governor is taking money from the federal government to basically not talk about this issue and to proclaim that the fish are doing fine.
The state of Idaho has extended an agreement with the federal government under the Columbia Fish Accords, in which Idaho agrees not to advocate for removal of 4 dams on the lower Snake River. The Bonneville Power Administration gave states and tribes who signed the accords $900 million. There is broad agreement among fish advocates that breaching the dams is the best way to bring Idaho steelhead and salmon back from the brink of extinction. Yeah. Carrie Brennan agrees that the hydro system is the main problem, and he hopes environmentalists will continue to work with river communities to find solutions.
And that's the thing we have to keep focusing on. That's the problem with our numbers. And to target the fishermen on the Salmon River particularly is not the answer, I do not believe.
Steve Liebenthal, 6 on your side.
Oh, that's pretty country,
It's
isn't it?
so pretty this time of year. Oh.
Steve made several attempts to contact managers at Idaho Fish and Game to find out if they are working on updating their steelhead management plan.
None of his calls was returned. Well, a little fright.